Hey everyone, this is Angela from Bake It With Love, and today we're making our red velvet cake from scratch, my easiest recipe for it ever. So you'll need some cake flour, baking soda, cocoa powder, salt, butter, sugar, vegetable oil, eggs, vanilla, red food coloring, and buttermilk, as well as cream cheese, butter, confectioner's sugar, heavy cream, and a little bit of vanilla for the frosting. Now we have got a 3-layer red velvet cake here today. You can do 2 layers if you want. Split those 2 layers in half to make it 4, so it can be a 2, a 3, or a 4 layer. And we've got our ingredients showing up here as we go, as well as they will be in the information down below. So our dry ingredients, the cocoa, the flour, the baking soda, and the salt, we combine with a whisk before we start anything else. And then we're going to take our room temperature butter and cream that until it's nice and smooth, and then we will move forward with our sugar. We'll add our sugar, and then we're going to combine this, kind of cream it together with the, you can do it by hand if you want. I'm using my hand mixer. You're looking for that rough crumble texture, about pea size, and then I'm going to add my oil to this next, and it's going to look a little funky, and you're going to, use your hand mixer or your blender, and it's going to look a little lumpy, and that's totally fine. So just mix that in, and we'll move on from there. Now we're going to add a few more wet ingredients to this, and then we'll be combining all of the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients to make our red velvet cake batter. So some vanilla extract is next, as well as our eggs, 4 large eggs. I like to do my eggs whole. Like I said, this is my simplest recipe for my red velvet cake. So here we go. We're going to drop those all in, and then we'll blend it some more. Now at this point you've got a nice wet cake batter, and we're going to continue to blend this until it's nice and smooth. And then we'll be adding our red food coloring and our vinegar. Use as much red food coloring as you need to get the desired cake color. I use up to 2 tablespoons of red food dye for the liquid, a lot less with the gel coloring. And then we're going to add our cup of buttermilk and finish off the wet portion of our batter and add it to our dry ingredients. And just combine that until it's nice and smooth. This is a very, very beautiful cake. I love the way this turns out. The batter looks so smooth and silky, and it tastes delicious. And we're continuing to blend our batter together. Don't forget to scrape down the sides and get everything up off the bottom, otherwise you'll end up dishing out your cake batter and ending up finding wet or dry ingredients on the bottom. So I divided mine equally between the 3 cake pans and baked it at 350 degrees for almost exactly 30 minutes. And now once your cakes are cooled and you pop them out of the pan after about 5 minutes in the pan, let them cool a little bit, then pop them out and level them so that we are ready to decorate our cakes. Next we're going to make the whipped cream or cream cheese frosting with 16 ounces or 2 packages of cream cheese and 1 stick of butter, all kind of at room temperature, 3 teaspoons vanilla, 4 cups of confectioner's sugar. Give or take a little bit. If it takes a little bit more to get your right consistency, do add it. 2 to 4 tablespoons of heavy cream. You can also use milk, but go lighter on the milk. And use just enough liquid to achieve the consistency to your cream cheese frosting that you would like. Now I know a lot of people that just put their ingredients all in the blender and let them just go to town, but I like to add my stuff incrementally. So that's just me. Do it whatever way you want. So my first cake round that's leveled is on my little plate here. And I'm going to put a few generous dollops in the center and just spread it so that I can stack my next cake layer on. There we go. And repeat until you have all 3 layers, or 4, or just 2 if you're doing 2. And cover them. And then when I'm done with this one, I am going to get the top as level as I can. And then start a thinner coat around the sides to do my crumb coat. You can see that I add a generous amount of frosting here, but what I'm going to do is remove most of it so that all those crumbs are going to be in that first layer. I use my offset spatula and I pull in from the sides once I've got the first sides, the sides kind of scraped and clean, and then this went into the refrigerator, and now I'm adding another layer of frosting for my finishing effects on the cake. And I'm just going to continue to frost my cake until it is reasonably smooth and ready to go. And then I'll add my crumbs that I took from leveling my cakes, and they're all broken up. I'm going to pat them onto the bottom edges of my cake about halfway along the sides. And when that is done, I'm going to take my cream cheese frosting, what's left of it, and I'm going to pipe some little, I don't know what to call those, little pointed clouds. It's just a round tip, and I'm holding down, pulling up, putting a lot of pressure on the piping bag and then lifting up so that it makes a small peak. And I'm doing that again on the bottom border here with kind of a 45-degree angle. You can do your piping whatever way you want. You can use borders or not. This is just what I did for this cake today. And I take the last bit of crumb and sprinkle it on the top in between all those nice little soft peaks. And then we have a beautiful red velvet cake ready to enjoy. And that's what it looks like when it's done. And I'm going to go ahead and take a slice out of it from here for you and show you our beautiful layers while we're at it. 3 layers. Beautiful. It was absolutely delicious. I know you will love this cake. If you've never tried red velvet before, you are missing out. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. As always, if you haven't already, do subscribe. You don't want to miss any of the wonderful food and desserts that we have coming up. And we are always so glad to have you here with us. Thanks so much for being here, and we will see you again next time.